Prime Minister Narendra Modi is en route to Johannesburg, South Africa to attend the G20 Leaders Summit being hosted by the Republic of South Africa. This will be the fourth consecutive G20 summit held in the Global South and 20th G20 Summit overall. Before departure, Prime Minister Modi issued a statement. The departure statement read, and I quote the Prime Minister here, "I'm visiting the Republic of South Africa from 21st to 23rd November 2025 at the invitation of Cyril Ramaphosa to attend the 20th G20 Leaders Summit being held in Johannesburg under South Africa's presidency. This will be a particularly special summit given that it would be the first G20 summit being held in Africa. During India's presidency of the G20 in 2023, the African Union had become a member of the G20. The summit will be an opportunity to discuss key global issues. The theme of this year's G20 is solidarity, equality and sustainability, by which South Africa carried forward the outcomes from the previous summits held in New Delhi, India and Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I will present India's perspective at the summit in line with our vision of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, meaning one earth, one family and one future. I look forward to my interactions with the leaders of the partner countries and participation in the 6th IBSA summit scheduled on the sidelines of the summit. During the visit, I also look forward to my interaction with the Indian diaspora. Indian diaspora is one of the largest outside India in South Africa." Addressing the media on Prime Minister's visit, Secretary ER at the Ministry of External Affairs, Sudhakar Dalela, said that this will be the Prime Minister's fourth official visit to South Africa. He also highlighted that the summit, which is the first G20 summit to take place on African soil, will focus on the Global South.
Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will be visiting Johannesburg, South Africa from 21st to 23rd of November to attend the G20 Leaders Summit at the invitation of President of South Africa. This will be Prime Minister's fourth official visit to South Africa, following his bilateral visit in 2016 and later for the two BRICS summits in 2018 and 2023. This is the first G20 summit that will be happening on African soil, and in that context will bring the spotlight on the development issues of Africa as also of the Global South.
Calling the G20 summit a premium forum for international economic cooperation, Sudhakar Dalela also highlighted that G20 nations represent over 85% of the global GDP.
The G20 has emerged as a premium forum for international economic cooperation, as well as for discussing matters of global significance. The G20 provides an excellent opportunity for the leaders of these large economies and emerging economies, representing over 85% of global GDP and around 3/4 of the world population, to come together and discuss important issues impacting the world. The priorities identified by South Africa are aligned with those of India's G20 presidency and that of Brazil, ensuring continuity in the G20 discussions from the perspective of matters that are important to Global South. PM will be participating in the IBSA India, Brazil, South Africa leaders meeting, as well as holding bilateral meeting with several leaders who will be present in Johannesburg.
Lead India's Arun Sharma joins us on the phone line on the story. Arun, this will be the fourth consecutive G20 summit held in the Global South. How significant does it make the Joburg summit?
Well, it is also important for the fact that for the first time, South Africa is hosting the G20 summit, and it is because of the India's leadership in the G20 summit held in 2023. The African Union was made part of the G20, so it is of course a big summit as far as developing countries are concerned, as far as the Global South is concerned. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is or primarily will be speaking in three important sessions in the G20 summit. One is related to the economic, the financial, the infrastructure for the part. Second is regarding the climate change and the disaster resilient infrastructure. Last but not the least, it is about the critical minerals and of course, the AI or the artificial intelligence. So on all these three aspects, India has, shown or led by examples by showcasing it to the world that how India is doing its bit at a time when major global economies are facing the slowdown or having impact of slowdown or are under the burden of massive debt. Major global rating agencies have upgraded the India's rating and also have termed India as a shining or the bright spot as far as the economy is concerned. India is focusing upon the inclusive aspect of the economy, whereby it is taking the benefits of the high growth rate is being passed upon to with an inclusive approach. So the same kind of approach will be showcased on this multilateral platform as well. Second important aspect is about the climate change. We also know this fact that India has undertaken this massive or ambitious target of becoming carbon neutral by 2070. And when there is a divide between developing and developed world on the climate goals, India is leading by example of completing or fulfilling its the climate targets. So yes, in that aspect, various initiatives like LIFE initiative is being taken by India as well. So these are some of the important aspects that India is likely to put forth on the international or this multilateral platform. And last but not the least, it's about the critical minerals and AI. Now, we have seen supply chain disruptions because of the shortage of the critical minerals, and various economies facing the brunt. Various automobile sector, the sector related to electronics have faced the brunt because of the supply chain crisis of the critical minerals. So how can there be collaboration? How can there be intact supply chain so that there is no disruptions as far as critical mineral is concerned? On that aspect, an important session is there where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be intervening or speaking in that important session. And as far as AI is concerned, we all know this fact that this, the world has geared up for the artificial intelligence, but there is a need for collaboration so that the usage of AI can be used for the global good. So on all these aspects, India will of course be putting its vision on this multilateral platform as well. And as we know this fact that Global South representation will be more prominent this time because South Africa is hosting the G20 apparently for the first time. So this is going to be very much significant. And India's participation in this G20 Summit is also be very much significant from various aspects.
Okay. Arun, Prime Minister Modi will also attend the India, Brazil, South Africa leaders IBSA meet. It's a unique forum which brings together India, Brazil and South Africa, three large democracies and major economies from three different continents. A word on that.
So absolutely. IBSA, of course, is a significant grouping between India, Brazil and South Africa. Now, all these economies are major developing economies, and we also know this fact that, at a time when major economies are facing the brunt of the tariff wars, in that context, IBSA summit can be of great importance as to how can at a time when major global economies are facing the brunt of the global slowdown, of massive debt, how can this grouping play an important role on various aspects like collaboration in the sector of energy, critical minerals, the AI. So on all these aspects, IBSA is going to be very much significant.
Arun, a last quick word. Yes, it's the G20, Africa's first summit, will see representatives of 42 countries, but not the United States, a founding member of the group. US, White House says that US is not boycotting this summit, but would you call it a rather irresponsible stance?
Well, as I said earlier also that, there is a divide on various issues as far as the developing and developed countries are concerned. But yes, India, as I mentioned earlier also, that India, the way India has shown to the world that how can developing and developed world come together on various issues. Now, it is under the India's leadership in the 2023 when the African Union was made part of the G20. So, India has already showcased to the world that how can, there can be various issues, various global issues where there can be division. But when it comes to global good, it is important that the globally all the countries, important that the group of 20 countries come together on the same platform. US may boycott, may not boycott this summit as you're mentioning this, but yes, the important aspect is that the G20 Summit focuses on the inclusiveness. This G20 Summit is important because it is keeping the voice of the global South. It is for the first time that the African country is hosting this G20 Summit. So yes, a greater representation of global South is going to be there, and various issues, very critical issues like climate change, critical minerals, AI are going to be on the agenda as far as the G20 Summit is concerned. And various issues of the developing countries which were earlier suppressed or the sideline, will be put forward on this multilateral platform with greater thrust. So of course, this is going to be very much important as far as the G20 Summit is concerned at a time when there is a fractured economy globally, the global slowdown is being witnessed, various major economies are facing the pressure of high debt. So in that context, this time G20 Summit is going to be very much significant. And of course, we know this fact that the outcome of the G20 is not, it's non-binding in nature. But yes, the outcome of the G20 or the G20 document gives the vision to the world that what the group of 20 countries are planning, and their vision is as far as the global good is concerned, as far as the world is concerned. And in that context, it is going to be very much significant.
Yes, solidarity, equality,